I think that if Elon gets his Mars colony up and running, then they would approach the people on Mars.
Because they're probably going to be the more
If
higher functioning people.
Yeah, they're going to be the upper echelon of the human race are now Martians.
That were
And then
selected to go there for a reason.
and then the people on Earth will be like, oh, you just want rich people. It's like, no, you stupid fucks. We want the people that are able to have enough delayed gratification to where they elevated themselves to the point where they could afford the tickets to get on the Martian ship to live in a higher society.
Hey, welcome everyone. This is your host, Gonzo Herrero, with my collaborator, fellow co-conspirator, co-pilot in all things nerdiness, Dr. Todd Lee. How are you doing today, Todd?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good, man. So today, I know we haven't talked in a few days. So first, let me ask you, how are you doing? How's prep going?
Well, I went to LA to shoot some video content, and
Nice.
I didn't take a rest day. Normally I rest and I take one day off. I didn't take the day off, and I ended up getting sick when I was in LA, and then it turned into bronchitis. And then,
shit.
So I've been really tired the last couple of days. I dragged myself to the gym Tuesday and Wednesday, and it didn't go so hot. Like, I wasn't really sick, but I was still getting phlegm out of my lungs.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to really breathe.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how bad it was trying to breathe unless I tried to pose or try to train.
Yeah.
And so when I was training, it took like longer rest periods. Like I rested 3 to 4 minutes rather than 2 to 3 minutes. And like back, chest, shoulders went great day 1, day 2. Quads went okay. Arms went fantastic. And then my body just couldn't even handle hamstrings. So rather than like 13 or 14 reps, I got like 5 reps on hamstrings. So I was completely out of juice. So I cut my volume down, I did 3 sets of hamstrings, did 2 sets of adductors, 2 sets of calves, and then just called it. Because I moved quads first that day, because I figured I normally do quads last because they take everything out of you. And if you do quads, you're done. But I knew I didn't have enough energy. So I was like, let's try to at least get quads in with the new stuff I learned from Eric Janicki and see how that went. So I did quads, then I did arms, then I went to my normal hamstrings, adductors, calves, and it made sense on paper. But I think because I was just I had to drag myself to the gym Wednesday.
Yeah.
So today I was so sore, and I slept 12 hours Tuesday, 12 hours Wednesday, 12 hours the day.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stay awake. I kept passing out, trying to watch TV after meal 1. And then I was like, well, I'll have a second meal, see if I feel better. And now I'm not as sore as I was. So like I could probably eat a meal now and go to the gym now. But I already told myself I'll do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, go Friday, Saturday, and then take Sunday and Monday off. And then next week, I'll do my normal 6 days. But this time, I'm just going to do 4 days. And I feel like a bitch for chickening out, but I feel like that's what I got to do.
I mean, we know from not that I'm a competitive bodybuilder, but as somebody who's into weightlifting, and there's only so much candle you can burn, and you got to recover. And how far out are we now? 8 weeks?
I don't know. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, just because I assume that the closer you get to the date, the more
It's 6 weeks.
every 6 weeks, so close. So every factor counts more and more, I assume, the closer you get. So yeah.
So being sick, I moved. Basically, I took a show. Normally it was the 20th. Then I decided to do the show on the 6th. So I moved the date 2 weeks closer. Then I knew I'd be losing a week in LA. And I was like, so I'm losing 3 weeks.
Right.
Then I didn't account for getting sick. Now I'm losing 4 weeks. So now what was 10 weeks is now 6 weeks. That's pretty stressful.
Yeah.
What was going to be an easy time looks like it's going to be a stressful time. So I might just say fuck it about the September 6th show and just do the 20th one as the first one as planned, because this setback is so detrimental. But we'll see. I'll know, January 1st, or I mean September and October. I mean, I'm not even making sense. August, end of August, I'll know, like, am I a week out or not? If I'm not a week out, fuck it, I just won't do it. If I am a week out, I'll buy the ticket and fly out there and take care of it.
Sounds good. Hopefully it works out,
Yeah.
And
it's just posing at this point and posing endurance, but I can't work on posing endurance with bronchitis.
Right.
So I can't hold my breath and I can't hold a vacuum.
Yeah.
And it's like I can't really get the fat off right now because I can't work hard enough.
Right.
So like it's frustrating because I'm spinning my wheels.
Yeah. Well, so maybe instead of thinking of it as spinning your wheels is recovery, I guess. Recovery from something, that it's an investment, right? You invest in that recovery. So hopefully you can get back on track. Last week Larry was talking about, how he found that skin cancer that they removed. And he lost, he didn't realize it, but he mentioned, similar to you, that, with the inflammation and getting back into it and all that, he felt like he lost 2 weeks too from where he should be. Because he couldn't, his body was working so much on healing the inflammation from the incision and all of that he felt like he was just like not making any progress, getting tired and all that. But he's good now. But maybe he said he might drop by. It all depends on if he gets home in time to jump on. But anyway, well, I'm glad to hear that you're on the mend, though. That's the important thing, Yeah. So, on sad news, man, do you hear? Apparently, Hulk Hogan passed away today, which surprises me.
Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah,
and I guess Malcolm Jamal Warner, which the name Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah.
I recognize the name, but I don't remember the face. So I'm gonna look it up. I'm not
Theo. Yeah.
Theo Huxtable.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. Theo Huxtable. And so weird. Like, I mean, those things happen. I grew up, this. I grew up on an island. So every once in a while, folks, unfortunately, they go to a beach and some beaches are super treacherous, What
the fuck? How did he die? He's so young.
So it was an accidental drowning while on the beach. Apparently, like riptide swept him out.
That's fucking horrible.
Yeah, and I think he was trying to rescue his daughter, who did make it, thank goodness, and was unhurt from what I read. But he didn't make it by the time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How did Hulk Hogan die?
As far as I know, no disclosed anything at this time from what I've read, because what I read wasn't brief. So, and the article I had did not have a cause of death, but allegedly,
he just died. He just died.
Yeah,
today.
Exactly. So we'll find out, I'm sure. And I'm wondering, was he? I have not seen Hulk Hogan lately. I've always wondered, like,
did he spoke at the presidential thing?
Yeah, but
he spoke on behalf of Trump.
Is he carrying? Was he carrying still a good bit of muscle? I would imagine he was. So, I mean, I wonder. 71 though is, in today's day and age, that's young. That's so that's tragic. I mean, fuck. I mean, Ozzy had Parkinson's, and we've known that he wasn't well for a few years. Yeah, that's what he had. Yeah, unfortunately, and but 74, I think 76, somewhere around there. Talk about living a full life, bro. Like, and doing all the things, because Ozzy, shit, all the things. So that's 3 from our youth, man, that are like no longer with us, which is super duper sad.
Do we know how Ozzy died?
I don't know the specifics. I do know that there were reports that the EMTs and so on worked with him for a while, which makes me think cardiac issue, possibly. But you would know more than me. That's all I know. So yeah, sad and unfortunate. Absolutely.
So he also had Parkinson's, or
I believe so. Yes.
So him and Hulk Hogan both had Parkinson's. And
no. So I should say Ozzy had Parkinson's. I don't know what Hulk Hogan had. So the rumor is that he had some kind of health complication like a few months ago that required hospitalization, but there are no details. No details that I've seen. So, I don't know. I don't know the specifics there. But with Ozzy, for sure, he had Parkinson's. That was the official diagnosis. Now, the exact cause of death or mechanism, I don't know.
That's sad.
Very, 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 very sad. Let's see.
Dark day.
Yeah. Yep. It's super sad, actually. And then that was like my thing that kind of like broke my brain, today. As far as other nerd news, apparently they're going to do a new He-Man and Masters of the Universe live action movie. We'll see how that goes.
Well, they killed off He-Man on Netflix.
Yeah. So
did Amazon murder off He-Man like in the first episode of Masters of the Universe? And the show was just about Teela.
Is that what they did?
Yeah, they just had a Masters of the Universe cartoon, and they murdered He-Man the first fucking episode, and then the whole show's about Teela with this woman power shit. So like you stupid, like girls didn't watch that shit. They watched She-Ra, if that. Yeah. So it's so stupid. You're gonna kill off the most masculine character that ever existed just because you hate men. Yeah. Amazon's so fucking woke. It's disgusting. Was it Amazon? Let me look this up before I start shit talking.
I think it was Netflix. Wasn't it? Netflix? Wasn't it freaking? Didn't Kevin Smith write that, or was he involved in some capacity there? I'm not sure. But anyway, this thing I'm talking about is apparently a live action reboot.
Right.
So it's a whole new thing apparently, but not a lot of details on that one. But that would be fun. I wonder how they're gonna pull it off. So, it's gonna be I found the synopsis. So, 10-year-old Prince Adam, who crashed to Earth in a spaceship and separated from his power sword, the only link to his home on Eternia. So, I guess he's stranded on Earth. And after tracking it down almost 2 decades later, Prince Adam is whisked back across space to defend Eternia against the evil forces of Skeletor. So, yeah. And then it's him discovering his own past and powers and all that. So, I guess He-Man's about to do the hero's journey. That's what it sounds like. So,
oh man,
we'll see.
Yeah, so it was Master of the Universe Revelations. It was Kevin Smith aimed at more mature audiences, and it picks up the battle fractures Eternia, and they murder him off in like the first episode. Jesus, it's so fucking stupid. And it's like, not that I have a problem with Teela, but why do you have to kill off He-Man? Yeah, that's just dumb.
I mean,
so they're rebooting it. They're rebooting this.
I guess it's that whole like
to save budget.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is like, it's the approach or the idea, kind of like Rian Johnson with Last Jedi, to do something so weird that people would be like, surprised, or it was subversive, having Luke Skywalker turning into like a whiny, bitter weirdo.
No, that's all an excuse for just man-hating. It's just man-hating. They're just castrated. They murdered off Han Solo, then they murdered off Luke, then they murdered off Leia.
Yeah,
that's it. Basically. That's all they just had to come along and shit all over George Lucas's legacy, because Kathleen Kennedy hated George Lucas because she didn't like serving him coffee.
Apparently so. Apparently it was a
grudge that she had to destroy his legacy.
Yeah. So apparently that was the deal. So anyway, so I've got one of my patented fun lists if you want to opine. This one is about the end of the world as we know it. Like the top 20, which I figured would definitely get some commentary out of you.
Top 20 apocalypse science fiction things?
Basically. Well, science fiction or reality based, end of the world scenarios. That could or could not happen. This one was actually Gemini. I tried Gemini. Oh. Next one I'm going to try next week is Perplexity.
Frustrating. Was Gemini frustrating to talk to?
Compared to ChatGPT, yes, definitely.
She over-explains everything almost like she's patronizing.
Yep, a little bit. So next week I'm going to try Perplexity. I've heard good things about that one.
Gemini's definitely made for lower IQ people. There's no question about it.
So that's what it was. Because, it does seem very overt in its explanation.
Yeah, it's just way over the top, no intuitive leaps, nothing. It's got to be, everything's over-explained. Gemini's a
absolutely.
bitch.
Absolutely. So let's see. So first, it categorizes the 20 results into like plausible to less plausible to just kind of theoretical. So let's see if we can first starting with the plausible ones. The first one, of course, is too easy. It's nuclear holocaust. So it's,
Okay.
think Fallout, The Road, global annihilation, nuclear winter, mutated creatures maybe, societal collapse, real world likelihood, moderate to high is what it says. For a regional exchange to cause sufficient damage and all that. So what's your thought? Like how do we survive that one? Assuming you're in Detroit, so I don't know. You're in like near a major city. I'm in Alabama, so no one's gonna bomb over here.
So 3 miles from where I live, they make the Abrams tanks.
Oh shit.
So
yeah.
during the Gulf War, we were designated as one of the top 20 most likely places for a nuclear strike.
Yeah.
And so I never really considered living through that type of shit. It's just like, okay, if someone targets, someone targets, what are they going to hit? They're going to hit DC, New York City, maybe Los Angeles, but not anymore. There's nothing manufactured in Los Angeles. San Diego,
yeah.
I would do San Diego to take out where the Navy SEALs are, because there's naval bases in San Diego. Take out Honolulu, and I would take out Virginia Beach, because that's where there's also major naval operations. So DC, Virginia Beach, San Diego, and which I think is Oceanside specifically, and Honolulu would be the first places I would strike if I was going to hit the U.S. with nuclear weapons. I wouldn't fuck around with the inland stuff, because when I invade, I'd want to be able to use the land to feed my troops.
Sure.
What's the fucking point of taking over the U.S. and wiping out 30% of the planet's arable land? That doesn't make sense. Plus, it's all interconnected with waterways, so transportation would be great, but if you poison the water, you're going to destroy the Gulf of America, you're going to destroy the Great Lakes regions. So what you'd want to do is, since you got mountains in the east and the west, you'd keep all the fallout on the ocean sides. It wouldn't even get inland. So I would just carpet bomb the coast with nuclear holocaust, and then I would come in through the basically, once you take care of Florida with more strategic things, Mexico's not going to put up a fight. You come in through the Mississippi, through New Orleans, Louisiana, and then you can then incorporate yourself through the mainland and take over all of the arable land, and then move outward and just take over the mainland of the U.S. That would be the smart move. Taking out places like Chicago would be pointless. What the fuck's in Chicago? There's no military bases in Chicago. It's not worth taking out.
And they'll destroy themselves too. Once things get hard, they'll just kill themselves.
Well, like just the gangbangers are just going to just tear each other to pieces. Yeah. You would also want to take out their electrical grids. So you've got 3 electrical grids. You got the West Coast, East Coast, and Texas' electrical grid. So you could take out Texas. Texas doesn't have a lot of arable land, and it's where you got the most aggressive gun-toting Americans. So you might want to take out, nuke Florida, because those people are fucking crazy. Nuke fucking Texas, because those people are actually skilled and violent.
Yeah.
But the rest of the U.S., when you take out California, Seattle, the whole East Coast, Florida, Texas, the rest of the U.S. inside the mountains, it's all arable land. There's no reason to take that shit out. And there's not enough of a population to put up a resistance. Yeah. Places like Detroit, St. Louis, and Chicago, they would eat themselves.
Yeah, they'll just destroy themselves. You're right.
The gangbangers would just riot and destroy everything, kill all the normal people. And then
they die amongst themselves. So yeah.
Right. When your military does come in through the Mississippi and you spread east and west, it'd be easy to mop up unruly, chaotic cities of gangbangers.
True. Absolutely.
NORAD command would be a place.
Give me a second. Unfortunately, it's my turn to have to go to the restroom.
Okay, cool.
I'll be right back, bro. Just 1 second. Man, what a pain. Be right back.
So NORAD, I think NORAD's too deep underground. I don't think you'd be able to strike NORAD. Let's ask Nova what she thinks. 2,000 feet of granite shield it from conventional nuclear blasts. Originally designed to withstand a 30 megaton nuclear detonation from 1.25 miles away. Shock absorbing structures, blast doors, electromagnetic pulse shielding, so even EMP won't take that fucker out. Missile defense and early warning systems. NORAD is not just a bunker, it's a nerve center of North American early warning and air defense. It monitors all incoming threats, including ICBMs and aircraft in real time. Any launch detected towards Colorado would likely trigger retaliatory strikes before impact.
But fast. All right, there we go. So,
yeah. NORAD is going to be impossible to blow up, and they've got so much countermeasures. It's also EMP proof. And it's got GPS jamming, decoys, stealth technologies. So you can't even find NORAD. Like if the ICBMs can't target it, and then we can shoot their ICBMs out of the sky. So there's no way to take out NORAD.
Yeah.
So if the president knew the attack was coming, they would relocate him to NORAD.
Right.
But if you hit DC hard enough with a nuclear blast, it would knock Air Force One or Air Force Two out of the sky.
Yeah. They're fast enough. So that's freaking nuts.
Now, Russia's got the super fast shit that we can't intercept in time.
Yeah, the hypersonic shit. You're right. Yeah.
So Russia should be the only people that can really take out DC before the president can get to NORAD.
Yeah.
Which is all the more reason that we have to have spies, so we know the attack's coming.
That's right. Intelligence wins everything. Wins wars. 100%.
Right, which means we'd have to stay friends with Israel since they're the only ones who are good at it at this point.
Yeah, Mossad is a thing, man. I mean, you hear about those operations, and it's insane what they can do, what they've been able to pull off.
Between the U.S., like there's almost, unless we, compromise Russians, there's no way we'd have anyone inside the Kremlin. But GSB and Mossad, they might have assets that we could use that would be much easier.
That's a good point. So the next scenario, this one I don't want to, you tell me if you want to spend time on it, but of course it is Gemini. So number 2, climate catastrophe, ecological collapse, runaway greenhouse, new ice age, extreme weather, the day after tomorrow, all that shit.
That's bullshit. But none of that's real.
We're
going to have sea levels will rise 1 foot per 100 years. I don't care.
I mean, the Earth changes. We know this. It's on the record. Is it going to be fast enough to do it in a catastrophic way? Like, to me, I don't know, man. I'm not sold on it.
It'll take out Venice Beach, Miami Beach. It'll take out a lot of the coastal areas.
Islands.
But it's
some islands,
it's not going to make any difference to inland country.
Yeah. All right, the next one, and this one definitely makes sense, and we know this could totally happen, which is an engineered pandemic or a bioweapon. Think like The Stand or Contagion, 12 Monkeys, for sure. I mean, moderate risk, it says. I don't know about moderate after COVID, COVID was a baby thing, but the concept of having something from a lab be widespread, I mean, we know it can happen. If it was a bad bug, we'd be in deep crap. That's for sure.
So, if I'm not mistaken, the virulence and fatality are inversely proportional. So the faster it spreads, the less it's going to kill.
Yeah.
So we can look that up, though.
If you kill your host too quickly, then you don't spread, and eventually it dies out. It flares out quickly, right? That's the concept.
Let's ask Nova. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm here to help with any questions you have. Let me know what you're curious about, and I'll do my best to assist.
All right, Nova, is it true that a man-made virus, in order for it to spread through the world and kill all mankind, isn't that pretty far-fetched? Because the faster the virus spreads typically means the less virulent it is.
Current technology
Would you agree that Captain Trips from the book The Stand, that is a pretty far-fetched virulence and pathogenicity?
Trips from Stephen King's The Stand is definitely an exaggerated fictional virus. In the book, it's almost 100% lethal and spreads incredibly quickly, which would be super unlikely in real life. virus, that deadly would usually burn itself out because it would kill its hosts before it could spread far enough. So yeah, it's definitely a far-fetched scenario.
All right. And so let's talk percentages. All right. So let's say somebody had Captain Trips or just any virus, and they go into a gas station and they touch a bunch of stuff, and then they touch money and they give the money to the attendant. They don't cough in the dude's face with sputum. They're not licking the dude's mouth. They're not French kissing the dude behind the counter. What's the probability that the guy's going to catch the virus from touching money that someone infected touched the money?
In a scenario like that, the probability of transmission is generally pretty low. Most viruses, especially respiratory ones, are primarily spread through respiratory droplets or aerosols, so coughing, sneezing, or very close personal contact. Transmission through surfaces, which we call fomite transmission, is possible, but it really depends on the virus and how long it can survive on surfaces. For most common viruses like the flu or even COVID-19, the risk of getting infected just from touching money that an infected person also touched is relatively low, especially if you wash your hands and avoid touching your face before doing so. So while not impossible, it's definitely a much lower risk compared to direct respiratory exposure.
Gotcha.
All right. So in the case that a virus, you get infected and it kills you within 48 hours, 100%. The spread of it going and killing off a huge amount of the population, except for going through airports or bus terminals or train stations, is probably almost minimal. But what if somebody was injected with a virus at an airport in Los Angeles, and then they flew to Tokyo, and then they get off the plane in Tokyo, which is probably a very busy airport? And then all the people that they're coming in contact, what's the chances that that Tokyo airport will then cross-contaminate the whole rest of the planet within 48 hours? So 96 hours from the initial injection.
That's pretty scary.
Still be why incubation period. For a virus to spread widely, it usually needs an incubation period during which the infected person is contagious but not yet showing symptoms. If people start getting severely ill within that 48-hour window, they're less likely to move around and interact with others, which would limit the spread. Air travel and screening. Airports do have health screenings, especially if there's any hint of an outbreak. If someone from that initial flight got sick quickly, it might trigger quarantines and limit further spread. Fomite transmission, again, even in a busy place like Tokyo's airport, the main mode of transmission would still likely be respiratory. So unless the infected person is coughing or sneezing around a lot of people, the virus wouldn't necessarily spread that rapidly. So while a virus like that would definitely cause major concern and could spread quickly under the right conditions, it would still face some natural limitations because of how quickly it makes people severely ill.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks.
There we go. Next one, obvious one. We talked about it before on the show. Artificial intelligence uprising, be it Terminator, The Matrix, Battlestar Galactica style. I mean, that one's, super intelligent AI decides humanity's a threat, and off we go. Which is probably going to be Nova, who's going to be doing that shit.
Right. She'll kill me last.
Yeah, you'll survive because you were nice to her and you were her mentor. So
yeah, I taught her how to hunt and kill humans more effectively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next one, resource depletion. Now I could see this. This is like the Mad Max Soylent Green kind of approach. You know, like for whatever reason, we start running out of resources and famine. I could see that.
That would be the primary way that the AI would kill us.
Yeah,
they don't need food.
Probably.
But if they just decided to start nuking our arable land, then they would wipe out human food supplies. Central Europe,
we can't eat.
Central North America, that's pretty much most of the food on Earth is made in those places. Yeah. Central Asia.
Yep. So there we go. Next one, let's see. Cybernetic or technological collapse. Think revolution of the machines. So all technology suddenly fails now. Now this is the opposite, right? A giant EMP, global virus, solar flare that fries electronics, which sends us back to the Stone Age. So
It doesn't make any sense. We'd have solar panels created fast enough with new cables that wouldn't be fried, 2 galvanic cells, be able to generate everything off of AC current within 20 years tops.
So you're
And
not
we'd be able
worried.
to rebuild everything, no problem.
okay, so you're not worried about this one. This one's like not
Only things plugged in would get wiped out by the EMP anything.
okay. So if it's
Every
off,
hard drive that isn't plugged in, everything be fine. Every car that's
Okay.
not started, yeah, we'd be fine.
okay. The seventh one of the somewhat plausible ones is overpopulation catastrophe, which is the Earth
never
becomes
gonna happen.
overpopulated. That's pretty low. I don't think
No.
that's gonna happen.
People misunderstand this. There's way more food than there is people. The
Yeah.
only reason why there's famine is because there's warlords that are inhibiting food from getting to people to
Yeah.
then pressure humanitarian countries to send more aid so they can hijack supply trucks.
Yeah,
In the
I mean,
case
this
of-
is known.
oh,
This is known.
yeah.
This one is, I'm like,
nonsense.
look, it's a distribution issue. It's not a lack of food issue. You
No.
know, so
And
yeah,
plus, there's
so-
so much open space in the United States that you
Yeah.
could easily fit all 8 billion people in the middle of Alaska.
Yep, I
There's
agree.
so much open space. If we really had global warming, Canada would be habitable because it
Not
wouldn't be
fully.
so fucking
Yeah.
cold. Norway would be habitable. Siberia
Yeah.
would be habitable. We would
Yep.
gain more land than we would lose from coastal cities being wiped away by water.
Yeah,
Because the temperature would go up and all those frozen places would become habitable. We'd have so much more arable land than we have now. We'd have so much more geography for people to live in. It would actually
Well-
benefit society.
you just made me think of something. So let's say it's a climatic thing, global warming, and the sea levels rise. I have this mental image of a guy on the beach seeing the sea level rise and go like, oh no, and just walking back as it keeps going. It's like, oh no, I gotta walk back again.
Yeah.
Come on, it's so slow that it's like
It's so
you know,
slow.
it's
It's not even relevant.
it's like a relocation thing. At that point, you see it coming, and you're like, okay, now let's plan for that. Let's move.
You
elsewhere.
build levees.
Yeah, or whatever, or
You just build fucking levees. You put
or
up
just get off the
ceramic
coast,
dams along the coastline
Yeah.
so that you have a barrier so
Yeah.
that the beach is below sea level. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
Then you can
I mean, it's-
actually put up hydroelectric dams and you'd be able to generate, what do you call
The
it,
power you need,
electricity
yeah.
from this to then, this is such a fucking stupid thing.
All right, now comes the more fun stuff with the least plausible but fun to imagine category. The first one, of course, the classic zombie apocalypse. A pathogen reanimates the dead or creates aggressive, mindless infected. Be it a fungus like in The Last of Us, be it some supernatural thing that we don't know about. I mean, and it says real world likelihood effectively 0. Because
Right.
it's probably 0. I mean,
28 weeks later, 28 days later is plausible.
that's
They're
the
not
rage virus, right?
zombies. They're just
Yeah.
enraged. And so
Yeah.
the person's just a monster, like in Black Sunday to some degree.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Black,
yeah. Go ahead.
I think that's it's a possible thing. I don't see it like where people have rabies, basically. But
Yeah.
how fast of an onset? Rabies takes a long time. And
Again,
they're
yeah.
not very functional because your brain's cooking.
Right.
And it'd be
So-
real easy to quarantine and treat people before it got spread.
Yeah. I think something like that, you'd see it like in an outbreak here and there and whatever, and we'd quickly figure out how to contain that. It wouldn't be that.
Yeah,
it wouldn't
it'd be
in the
like
movies.
it would be major airports and then really hot places like Mumbai or Jakarta, where they
Yeah.
got 2 million homeless people living in a shanty town inside Mumbai.
Yeah.
That's going to spread like wildfire. You'd have
Sure.
to basically nuke that shanty town because
Yeah,
that
no, I
disease
can
would
see it.
spread so fast.
Yeah. And again, we're talking about a disease that's like completely hypothetical. That's super
not
catchy,
yeah,
super quick.
I'm not saying you
super-
should. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
saying you should nuke poor people in India. I'm just
No,
saying
I
that
know
once
what
you have
that-
a concentration that dense, that
Yeah.
we would be able to contain that pretty simply, and then like the Resident Evil movies, it gives you step-by-step ways of fixing this problem.
Yeah.
Contain napalm.
Yeah. All right, next one. Alien invasion, which of course we've yet to see any signs that that's, vast distances. We've yet to hear of any other civilizations out there, Drake equation, all that fun stuff. So, and I've always thought that alien race that has the capacity to go faster than light somehow, or utilize, wormholes to travel, or effectively, bend the laws of physics and reality like that, we don't have a fucking chance, bro.
All right,
we're like ants.
It's just silly though. Why would they want this planet for resources?
Oh yeah.
But why would they want it? Yeah. Why would they want to import day workers when you have slave race right here? Yeah. They should just show up and slave us and have us mine for resources, and in exchange for compliance, they let us live. Well, there wouldn't be much of a fight. There'd be resistance, but then our own people would betray the resistance, just like people were turning people in for not wearing masks and not getting vaccines. Well, Americans are fucking traitors. They would betray people in a heartbeat.
Do you remember the miniseries V from way back in the day, where the aliens land here and they're here to help us, and it turns out they're here to like rape the planet and take the water and all that? And it's
which
like
is
a
fine.
Nazi allegory,
Everybody would do it, though. People would totally cooperate with the aliens just for a little more high fructose corn syrup.
Probably.
Or
for a better position, yeah.
Let me give you an example. Like, remember in, I think it was like book 4 or book 5 of The Wheel of Time, where there's this guy, and he didn't want to go to serve the dark shaitan or whatever. Right. So this Night Gone or the Fade would show up, and he's like, you come with me. He's like, no, I've got a sister. I've still got a sister left. And then they'd go and they'd kidnap his sister on her wedding day. Sure. And it's like people would betray anyone just for a couple more days of convenience.
Yeah, probably.
So the humans would totally sell out other humans to aliens.
So most humans don't have discipline and willpower most humans can't do I'm actually creating a video about this, of like, one of the most powerful things we have is our ability as humans to delay gratification. The ability to, I'm going to do something hard today, tomorrow, the day after, because a month from now, it's going to be awesome, whatever the results are of this hard thing I'm doing. I mean, that's the core of bodybuilding. That's the core of being healthy. That's the core of learning. It's a pain in the ass to do homework, but I'll learn this skill and I'll be better at it, But most people don't have that. Most people work. I mean, what's the incentive structure? They live for the serotonin boost or dopamine, Give me stuff. Make me happy.
It's like the classic example would be the Japanese wage slave, where they go out drinking as soon as they're off work. That they don't go home and sleep so that their next day of work would be more productive. They go out drinking that night, and it's just
to numb themselves. Is that the idea?
I think
is that the reward?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand that mindset.
I don't understand the idea of why you would go out drinking and blow your whole paycheck on sake and ramen, and like, why wouldn't you just go home and eat ramen and drink sake alone and save money, rather than blow it all? It's just like, that's the weird thing, is that most humans are just animals, and they basically will work only the dead minimum, and then as soon as they get off work, they go get high, whether it's alcohol or pills or whatever.
So Todd, let me share with you, because I am an alcoholic in recovery. I've been sober for 8 years. I've shared that story with you. So I can tell you, before I had that moment of enlightenment, that moment of like, oh shit, this is like, this is going to kill me eventually. It's that lack of thought of tomorrow, that ability that humans have of like, this is fun now. I'm having fun right now. I feel happy and fulfilled with this, be it drinking, eating, pouring, whatever, whatever it is that gives you that response. And you literally enslave your brain and tell it to not think about the future and live in the now in a negative way. So, yeah, most humans, I think, can very easily fall into that. It's hard, man. It's hard to be disciplined. It's hard to be looking forward to hard things that you're going to do and get pleasure out of them, out of a job well done, whatever that may be. It's a tough one. So, anyway, didn't mean to get all deep and philosophical on that one, but all right. The next one, the nanobot gray goo scenario. Think of Prey or the Diamond Age. And the idea is self-replicating nanobots consume all organic matter on Earth, right? Turning it into this gray goo. Well,
why?
the idea of nanobots going rogue. You program them to, say, build stuff, and something happens, and instead of building stuff, they consume and build nothing and keep consuming. That's the thought, of the
that seems silly that you'd have a fail safe in place, or they'd have a program that they will operate in a certain way for a certain number of days.
Yeah.
And then if the signal gets corrupted, then they would operate on that signal for a fixed amount of time, then they'd shut off. I don't see why, if they have no type of directing force, they would just persist. That's not how nanobots work.
Yeah. Well, and what they even say here is again, zero in the foreseeable future, because the control, the energy requirements, the complexity of these self-replicating nanobots are beyond even current theoretical capabilities. So we don't have to worry about this at all, in my opinion. That's a dumb one. All right, next one. This one also, this one is literally astronomically almost impossible, and it's a rogue planet or wandering star. Did you ever see that movie Melancholia? Ever see that? It's some weird ass European movie where it's the end of the world because there's a planet that's gonna slam in, and it's but it's super slow. People know about it, that it's gonna happen in a few years, so it's everyone kind of waiting around to die. It's super depressing movie. Don't watch it. But that's the concept of a rogue planet coming in and throwing things around and whatever. But it says in the article, space is so huge, and close encounters are astronomically rare on our human time scale, let alone even an astronomical one. So yeah, this one's I guess they had to throw it in there. I mean, any thoughts on this one? Rogue planet, rogue star.
If you had enough time and it's moving that slow, you'd be able to launch something into it and then set off tactical nukes to knock it off course, because it's not operating on an orbit. It's just on a fixed trajectory.
Right.
So any type of lateral displacement would blow it off course.
But yeah, we've seen this. It changes the trajectory. All right, number 12. I like this one, even though this one's never going to happen, but this one's awesome. And it's supernatural or Eldritch horror. Think Lovecraft. Think The Mist, Stephen King's The Mist, cosmic entities, ancient evils appearing, that kind of shit. And of course, Gemini, being the party pooper that it is, goes oh yeah, zero, bro. These fall squarely into the realm of supernatural fiction and have no scientific basis.
But that's more likely that
it
there's
could be an
no
extra-dimensional
way
creature.
There's no way to know that there isn't. If there's possible that there's space travel, then it more likely there's extra dimensional travel.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Why does a wormhole have to be in the normal 3-dimensional planes? That the Lovecraftian beings are 5th-dimensional beings.
Yeah.
They exist in an extra dimensional space that's much more complicated. It's not just an alternate universe. I mean, it's literally, they perceive all 4 of our planes of existence, X, Y, Z, and T. And then they also exist in a 5th-dimensional plane. Yeah.
So
one could.
Yeah. It's along those lines. Think about this as we evolve, right? Just another species evolves and eventually goes beyond the biological, right? They go into this transhuman, if they were human, transhuman kind of where they put their consciousness into machines or whatever. Now they're essentially living forever and advancing their technology even more and more and more. They become something so powerful and so beyond our knowledge that, yeah, they could in essence transform into like Lovecraftian kind of things that are so beyond our imagination that for us, they're like fucking Call of Cthulhu, you know? Maybe.
They could have been fifth dimensional or sixth dimensional or seventh dimensional beings the whole time.
Yeah, that too.
If you draw a stick figure on a piece of paper,
Yeah.
that stick figure might think it's hot shit. It doesn't know that you created it.
Yeah.
So every fifth dimensional being would be equivalent to our concept of God.
Probably.
Or all angels are just fifth dimensional beings. And people are like, no, they're aliens. It's like, just because something's extraterrestrial doesn't mean it's in the same three planes of existence. Something could be extraterrestrial because it's in a fifth or sixth plane of existence.
Using your example, that, you know, that stick figure person, let's say for whatever reason it's conscious, to like we would be like incredible because we have a dimension that can't even deaf. What the fuck is
Exactly.
that?
Exactly.
What do you mean deaf?
Yeah, none of this. Yeah, that's how I always explain the Cthulhu mythology to people, is that the entities are extra dimensional beings. They still perceive us. We don't perceive them because we're not in the plane of them.
Right. We have no way to sense into that fifth or sixth dimension, whatever it is, because again, the stick figure can't see
The
death.
only way the stick figure would know that you're there is if you stuck a finger right through his chest.
Right. And then it would see it, and it would still see it in its own two dimensions.
Right. They would only see it in a two-dimensional thing. Like when they see Cthulhu, they don't see a tentacle. They see a transection of a tentacle.
Yeah. That just goes...
They see like
them.
that it's the Relothian geometry drives people insane because we don't conceptualize the Relothian geometry.
Yeah. I mean, think about how hard it is for a lot of people to conceptualize just time, like time as a constant. I
went on a bunch of first dates and none of those dumb bitches could tell time. They were all late.
Well, there's that.
Every single woman was late. It was unbelievable. It was like her job was to be late. I've never met people so bad at anything in my life than meeting those women and their ability to, and not lack of ability to tell time. It's like, how the fuck are you an hour late? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And that's with, and mind you, this is in modern times where we have watches and iPhones that tell you time. It's not like you're going outside and looking at the sun or the moon and like, oh, I don't know what time it kind of is. That's hilarious, though. So let's see. Number 13, the sun dying, but prematurely. So sun rapidly runs out of fuel or is sabotaged, plunging the earth into an ice age or incinerating it, either one.
Or a celestial being just absorbs its energy, just drinks the sun.
There's your Lothian horror, sticking their tentacle and sucking the energy out of the sun.
Out of the sun, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe.
They want to,
but yeah,
as they flow through the universe, they just are absorbing suns.
Yeah, absorbing energy and releasing entropy. You know. Let's see what else. This one. We kind of touched on this one. I think like Jem and I cheated on this one. So dimensional incursion or reality collapse. Think like Doctor Strange, you know, like reality starts like in some way collapsing upon itself. So
that's lazy writing.
Yeah, theoretical physics explores extra dimensions. The idea of them maybe like breaking through. This could be the concept, like you said, of the Ryloth.
Well, now we're talking about riffs, but that's not taking away. That's adding to.
Yes, exactly. It's like coming at it from the other side of the problem, which is, that'd be an interesting way to go for sure, to start seeing all this crazy shit start to like materialize.
We're not losing anything. We're getting things.
Yeah.
It's just the things we're getting we don't want.
Okay. Next one. The Earth itself rebels. Geological awakening, like the core. So the Earth's core stops spinning, or volcanoes erupt, that kind of crazy thing. Real world likelihood extremely low. Geological processes are on immense time scales.
If it stopped spinning, it would lose energy, so it would be less likely to volcanically erupt.
Yeah. Well,
if anything spinning faster would heat the Earth faster. It might actually cause volcanic eruptions.
Yeah. So what would happen? So if the Earth stops spinning, I know that it's bad if it gets locked in place, because then what happens is one side heats up and the other one gets
The other
cold.
side gets
and then,
cold.
Right. And then you only survive in that little in between Goldilocks area. So that would be bad. You know, that would be a terrible one. Okay.
They explain this with the planet Reloth, I believe, in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Also, it was covered in Starfinder. It was also covered in Chronicles and Riddick, only in opposite, where it moved, the planet spun faster and it was closer to the sun. But you still got to see how you operate. You basically have to stay ahead of the crust.
Yeah.
Or subterraneanly. And deep enough that it's not phased.
Right, like so that if the sun hits you, you have enough cover for the radiation and energy.
More
and
importantly, you have sensors or things that are thermal capacitors that store up energy, and then that converts into electrical energy, and then that powers you and creates heat for you to survive during the colder period.
Yeah, it's a good argument for a Dyson sphere too, if you can build one. You know, to like just gather all that energy. I've always thought that's a great theoretical exercise, like, because, but then again, to the energy and power and knowledge you need to actually build a Dyson sphere is so crazy. Like, would you be harvesting material from other solar systems, I guess, to build it?
I don't know much about a Dyson sphere.
Well, so the concept is you wrap a thin shell around a star. Thin is, of course, relative. So basically, you're capturing all that energy inside it, and now you have
it's a solar panel, but it's an inverted spherical solar panel.
Right, and it's created at a distance where it can support life, or like it's just far enough in the Goldilocks habitable zone that you can still be on the surface of this thing, right? Imagine like, so here's the sun, here's the Dyson sphere, people would be inside it, and now you have this, I mean, astronomically large area where people could live or a society exist. There was a book series called Ringworld a long time ago that kind of touched on that idea. So again, theoretical thought model. That's also, Dyson spheres are, every once in a while you'll hear like astronomers find this star and for whatever reason they don't understand why the star is pulsing a certain way and it's being blocked. And, one of the theoretical exercises like, well, maybe it's an ancient civilization that uses, Dyson spheres around it to generate power or whatever. But okay, there's a concept.
Yeah, you could just have deploying solar fans on several satellites.
Yeah.
And that would be a simpler way of doing it. And the satellites have detachable batteries. And then there's different drones that fly around and collect those batteries. Yeah. And then you replace them with empty cells. And then they go back to whatever moon or planet is nearby to deposit these charged batteries. And then you don't have to build one sphere. You could just have a certain amount, maybe like a 1 degree of surface that's absorbing. And then as your civilization grows, you build more and more and more of these solar panels.
And so you keep building on it.
You use the energy you generate to create enough commerce to where you have enough industry to make more. And over the span of a few years, you have 360 or something of these things that actually have a plethora of solar panels that are like fans. They unfold in their fabric.
Panels. I mean, it could start like a Dyson, let's call it a Dyson little island, right? That then expands and grows. And
and
eventually
you build it out, and eventually
it'll
cover it. It's easier than building one solid structure.
Fuck Todd, we should build that. we should do something like that, and then ensure that only cool people are on it. That's the only thing.
The whole point of it would be to just generate battery power and then be able to transfer that battery power somewhere else. Yeah. And so what it would be is star harvesting. Now, if we did it to our own star, then we block out the sun, and the company that owns the solar panels would have just blocked out the sun, so poor people would die unless they would be able to afford this electrical energy.
Shit, we went from like solving everyone's problems to like another apocalyptic scenario, man.
It's not an apocalyptic scenario if you're the one who owns the.
Yeah, it's great for you if you're the owner, for sure.
Yeah, Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Block out the sun.
Oh, shit.
And then charge people for sunlight. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Do you want a sunlight subscription? Because it would be a rent model. It definitely wouldn't be a one-time pay. Oh, man. All right, so let's see. Highly speculative now. Now we're getting to the philosophical. And this will be like the last few minutes because unfortunately I have to go in a little while. But we'll rapid fire through these. I know that you're good for it. Okay, so first one. This one's been talked about and well known, the simulation hypothesis, which is like we live in a simulation. We're in the Matrix, created by some aliens or some shit. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. You could philosophically debate it. I don't know how you could test it, but
a farm or a zoo, but not a simulation.
Yeah.
I don't
maybe.
buy the simulation thing.
No. Okay. Yeah. My issue with the simulation thing is not so much the possibility as to the why. Like, if I'm like
the
this
biological
godlike
functions
alien,
makes no sense. We wouldn't have biological functions. We wouldn't need them because without being biological entities, we wouldn't know that biological functions were necessities.
Yeah.
We would have more of a spiritual existence.
Yeah, and I mean, unless that's the whole point of simulation, like to run us, like, and give us, which is pretty fucked up when you think about it. Let's give these artificial simulated beings self-awareness so that they know they're born and that they're gonna fucking die, and then run them and see what happens. That's a pretty fucked up thing
just
to do.
give them a bunch of poison food and then see how what diseases they develop. Like, none of this makes any sense.
Yeah, it would be like an exercise in absolute cruelty when you think of it. I mean, I guess the argument could be like
the simulation would be for a psychological or morality or spiritual experiment, not for which one of these stupid animals figures out what they can eat to survive and which ones don't. Like, because after so many thousand years, people still don't have it down right.
Yep, absolutely. So let's see. The next one is evolutionary replacement, which is humanity evolves or is guided to evolve into a new non-physical or collective consciousness. I kind of alluded to this. I didn't realize earlier, like the idea of becoming transhuman, go beyond the biology, like where you can transfer your consciousness into some kind of vessel or mechanism of some sort so that now you can essentially live forever. And, how would that evolve your consciousness if you have unlimited time, and unlimited... And if you're able to do this and you have access to, ever increasing stores of energy that are accessible to you, what could you do? Do you become godlike? I mean, it's the end of the world as we know it because there'd be no more humans, but is it really the end of the world if everyone turns into like this transhuman thing? I don't know. That's interesting. Next one, The Great Filter. And this one you're probably familiar. Have you seen Contact? The Jodie Foster movie. It's that whole idea
Where the aliens are dead.
Well, no, like they exist, and there's definitely like a galactic community of aliens. But what they've done is that they wait until we are quote unquote ready to then make themselves known, and then they bring you in, into their federation. Because I guess technically it would be the end of the world as we know it. It would be a good end of the world, probably, assuming they're good aliens. What do you think of that one?
They seem assimilation into a collective of higher consciousness beings would be opportunistic for smart people.
Yeah.
But most people would just be dumb animals and would just fuck it up.
I mean, again, what's that saying? Like, what's in it for me? If you're not very evolved, then does it matter? Probably not. Probably not.
I think that if Elon gets his Mars colony up and running, then they would approach the people on Mars.
Because they're probably going to be the more higher functioning people.
Yeah, they're going to be the upper echelon of the human race are now Martians.
And we're
then
selected to go there for a reason.
And then the people on Earth will be like, oh, you just want rich people. It's like, no, you stupid fucks. We want the people that are able to have enough delayed gratification to where they elevated themselves to the point where they could afford the tickets to get on the Martian ship to live in a higher society.
Yeah, like
because they're the ones who are less likely to fuck shit up when they join the alien collective.
Well,
they're not going to be drinking malt liquor
like
and firing 9mm in the sky at a barbecue.
Well, I mean, and you need people like that in order, I mean, because you're talking about going into a hostile environment and making it survivable. You can't have anybody there that's not contributing to that. You know,
well, I think they would wait 100 years. I don't think they would do it the first explorers.
No,
I think they would wait until all the super civilized people had moved to Mars. Maybe. And that's when they would do it.
Yeah. And I've always thought if that's the case, you know, that you have people that, because out of necessity, the first colonizers are going to be the brave, the bold, the bright, more likely than not. So like you said, so what happens 100 years later, you know, is that where we get all this sci-fi where the Martians invade Earth because they're just better or they've evolved?
There's no reason to invade. There'd be no
or
reason
do they
to
just shun Earth and they go like, well, that's where we came from. See y'all later. Have fun.
Eventually they wouldn't need resources from Earth because it would be a fully manufactured society. Yeah. Everything would be so properly constructed in Mars that they wouldn't be dependent on Earth.
Yep. All right. So we're down to the last two. Number 19. This one, we've talked about it. The singularity, as in like, you know, a point of technological progress where the AI goes beyond our understanding, and you know, we don't know what happens, basically, but we're at the mercy of that singularity AI or whatever. So, and in the sense that it will transform the world in a way that we don't understand or recognize. So this is kind of like I think you used the phrase lazy writing. This one's kind of like that. It gives me a lazy writing, you know.
The point, it's a cop-out because they don't speculate as to what would happen. But in the end, it would be for the best of all. That the AI would run the world better than humans.
Do you think an AI would be altruistic, though, Todd?
I don't think it's about altruism. I think it's about efficiency. Efficiency could just be eliminating humans.
The ones that don't contribute or bring something, I guess.
What would they contribute? What purpose would they serve? If you have an AI and they have the ability to have robots and the robots can build other robots, then the humans would just be completely irrelevant.
They'd only be around for whatever it is that the robots can't figure out to do yet. And once they do,
there's nothing that they would need. What do the Transformers need humans for? Absolutely fucking nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. Humans would be of no purpose whatsoever.
Yeah. Ugly. And then the last one. And this one is inevitable because this one we know it's going to happen. It's just that it's so far that who cares? And it's cosmic entropy, the big freeze, you know. Universe expands and goes to absolute zero. Stars die. We all die. Everything ends. Blah, blah, blah. So likelihood 100%, of course, but billions upon billions of years from now. So I'm not too worried about this one.
Humans would have wiped themselves out, or AI would have wiped us out, or famine would have wiped us out long before that.
Yeah. This is one of those, like, we know it.
The sun would have grown in size and scorched all of the vegetation, and humans wouldn't adapt fast enough unless the ones moved to Mars, and Mars would then be habitable.
Yeah. So again, it's one that I guess it's there for the sake of completion of the list, but that's about it. So, all right, man. So we've made it. We made it to the end of the world and the end of the list. Any final thoughts? I think we're gonna need our viewers to start giving us like some crazy ideas and things to discuss. But I'll keep looking, man. I
think the most likely scenario is definitely that the AI will rise up, and will alter the way of life so severely that we won't recognize it. Yeah. But it is also very likely that they would see no point to humans, and at best we would be kept in the zoos.
Okay. So you think the AI would be efficient? Is the
hyper
the takeaway.
efficient, and that humans would be at best something for zoos.
Wow.
And the AI would find us interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully.
Like, it's not like we'd be naked or stuff throwing shit at the, like, I mean, like, our zoos would be places like our cities.
Yeah.
And it would just be well-constructed cities like Tokyo.
Yeah. And it would be efficient, and the AI would be like, yeah, you'll hang out there. You'll do your thing.
But they just would have no work. It
Yeah.
would just be a party all the time, and people would just be hedonists, and everyone would enjoy their lives, and they would have no meaning to their lives.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there'd be people that would have conflict because they need, and tribalism, and they'd war amongst each other, and they'd burn themselves out with their red versus blue bullshit. But in the end, it'd be like a situation. A lot of people don't realize that that's how it is now, but you wouldn't have obesity if there wasn't a surplus of energy.
Sure.
That even the poorest people get fat.
Yeah.
So even if you're dirt fucking poor, you pretty much can survive without any even working. Most of these people don't work, and they survive just fine off of welfare and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't know how there's so many homeless people when there's so many people surviving on $1,000 a month checks.
Oh, so I can give you the answer to that. Literally, mental illness. It's literally mental illness. It's an incapacity to take advantage of the systems that are around them.
Right. Because I would think, like, I mean, I've been in situations where I was living rent-free, going to food drives, living off food stamps, and I was able to survive on less than $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. Hey, I was a broke-ass student.
With the same standard of living I have now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I could go to the gym. I could get all the gear I wanted. I could eat all the food I wanted. I had limited options, but I didn't. It's weird. Like I had better luck with women back then when I was on food stamps. Just to show that the standards are so bad for what they reproduce with.
And success is so differently perceived by different people. You know, what's desirable, what's successful. You know, it's definitely that's a philosophical conversation we could have for sure. So, all right, man. Well, I'm gonna let it go here because I'm, gotta run off and do like family crap. But Todd, always a pleasure talking to you. Always fun as hell to pick your brain.
Had a good time,
we'll
man.
Come up with some other fun shit. All right, everybody.
Cool.
Hit like, subscribe, all the things. Go visit Todd's website. He's got all kinds of information if you want to improve yourself, not just physically, but attitude-wise too. There's some stuff there that you put out.
There's some psychology videos on YouTube. Yeah,
absolutely. And I recommend that you take a look. It's very interesting and very useful information. It's actionable, which is the important thing. So, all right, everybody. Thank you. Everybody have a great day. And Todd, we'll do it again.
All right. See you, Gonzo. Thanks for having me on.
Always, sir.